Hello everybody, thank you all so much for checking out this video and welcome to Modern Money. So in this video, we're going to be covering news that happened last week to get you guys all updated on the week prior, and then we're also going to be talking about news that's going to be coming out next week that is potentially market catalyst that could be moving the market a little bit in the week ahead. Alright, so the first bit of news that came out this last week was the ISM Index. So we were watching that last week as a potential market catalyst, thinking that it could potentially move markets. Well, we had that number come in and we are starting to see that number decline. Something to keep our eye on definitely in the next release of that to see if that continues or if it was maybe just a 1 month thing. It's definitely something that's interesting to me to see if we're seeing an expanding or a shrinking economy. That can directly impact markets. And I think that with what we've been seeing going on in the 10-year, we are getting people assuming that we might be having a shrinking economy. Up next, the Fed released its minutes, so I went ahead and took some notes on that so I could cover it for you guys in this video. So the big takeaway from the Fed minutes is that their expectations for inflation, they say only rose less than 0.1%. And on top of that, they're also even mentioning in there a little bit of possible deflation. So that's something now that we're starting to hear that the Fed actually talk about is instead of inflation, maybe possible deflation. I mean, after all, they have been saying this whole year that they believe that this inflation is transitory. Whether or not we can take the Fed's word is totally up to us on a personal level if you do believe the Fed or if you do not believe the Fed. I personally do see that we could be in transitory inflation, but where I'm maybe thinking that we could see some of this inflation stick around for the long term is going to be in wage inflation. The thing that I'm seeing happen around my local area, and I'm sure you guys see a lot of it too, wherever you might be living, is that right now with all these benefits that are happening for unemployment, nobody wants to go work because they don't have to go to work and they can still be making plenty of money and support their family. So that leads now to everything having to raise its wages so that way they can hire people to come in and actually do the jobs that used to get done for much cheaper. So we're seeing it affect all sorts of things throughout the economy, everything from food to construction. And the thing is that they can't just take wages back from people. You can't just go to your employees and say, hey, yeah, I hired you at $18 an hour back when all the unemployment stuff was going on because I couldn't get anybody. But now that I can get people, since unemployment's not such an issue anymore, then I'm gonna have to lower your wage down to $12 an hour. It doesn't work like that. So if there's any inflation in my mind that I'm seeing possibly not being transitory, it's wage inflation. And the problem with wage inflation is that it kind of bleeds into everything, because if people are paying their employees more to get things done, to create services or goods, then that inherently is going to affect those services and goods. So as much as I want to believe the Fed that all this inflation is going to be transitory, I have a hard time doing so considering that we're seeing this wage inflation happen right now. But anyway, that's just my 2 cents. So let's go ahead and talk about more of what they said. The other thing they were kind of mentioning is that we should be watching for a potential taper start in Q1 of 2022. So if that's the case, then hopefully the Fed will be releasing more information on that taper, if it is going to happen at that point, near the end of this year. I would say probably anywhere from October to December, we could possibly be hearing some more information on that taper in Q1 of 2022, if they are going to do it. They're not too sure if they're going to be going after mortgage-backed securities or if they're going to be trying to taper treasuries first, or if they want to just go ahead and try tapering both at the same time. They kind of touched on all of that in the minutes, but there was no clear decision. The big thing to take away is they don't know what they're going to do yet. They're still watching the economy and trying to decide what they might do. They're hinting at possibly starting tapering in Q1 of 2022, but even that's still not a guarantee. So basically this was the Fed going, we don't know. And that leaves all the investors kind of scratching our head, which I think led to some of the market confusion this week. Now, on Tuesday, we started to see a sell-off occur, about 1% in the S&P, and that kind of continued through Thursday. We started to kind of see some more of that. And then on Friday, we actually kind of saw a little bit of a spike on Friday in the market. It kind of recovered, and I'm not too certain if I really am buying that recovery or if it's going to be a bull trap. I myself, in my personal account, I actually was liquidating and taking some profit out of some of the shares that I've held for a long time, some of my long holds, because I really do feel like this market might be getting ready to do a slight pullback. So right now I'm trying to just keep dry powder off to the side, so that way if this pullback does occur, I am able and ready to go invest in these cheap on sale stocks. Okay, so now that we've talked about all the news that happened last week, let's go ahead and dive into the CNBC article that I actually found that gives us a really good look at what's coming up in the next week as far as potential market catalysts / market news. All right, everybody, so this is a really great CNBC article that actually came out on Friday talking about some of the things that are going to be coming up next week that could potentially move markets. So let's just go ahead and go through this article right now together. So down here at the very bottom of the article, we have this week ahead calendar. So on Tuesday, they show us that we're getting earnings from some of the big banks. We're getting JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs. These are going to be really interesting ones to watch to see how the banks are reporting. And that same day at 8:30, we're going to be getting that CPI data. Now that is the really big one that a lot of people watch as a key metric for inflation. So definitely keep your eye on that CPI data like we talked about earlier. It's not the one that the Fed necessarily likes the very best, but it is one that a lot of traders use and look to for inflation data. So keep your eye on that for Tuesday. On Wednesday, we're going to be getting some more banks, Wells Fargo, Citigroup, Bank of America, PNC Financial, also reporting. And on that day, we're getting the producer price index. The producer price index is also a metric of inflation, except for that instead of it being the consumer price index, it's the producer price index. So in other words, it's what they're paying. If they're starting to see that their materials to create certain products are inflating, that's what that data is going to show. So on Thursday, we're going to be getting a lot of initial jobless. claims. We're also going to be getting Philadelphia Fed, Empire Manufacturing Index, import prices, industrial production capacity, utilization, all good things to be watching. Friday, we have some more earnings coming out from really people that I don't watch too much, but if you do, then awesome and exciting. We're going to be getting data on retail sales, University of Michigan, consumer sentiment, and business inventories. So if you guys want to go ahead and check out this article, I will leave the link to it down below in the description so you can go through and read it. And then also that way you can use their awesome little calendar they provided to let you know when to watch for what data so you can be on top of it and hopefully use it to your advantage for your trading in the next week. All right, everybody, thank you all so much for checking out this video. I really do appreciate it. Again, if you did enjoy the content, it would be a huge favor to me if you hit that like button down below and also hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that way you get notified every time I upload. I am going to be uploading about 4 times per week, doing an episode on news every week for what happened last week and what's coming up in the next week. I also do an update for the $1,000 stock account that we've been managing just to show you how you can get started into investing with stocks. And then I also do a video explaining 5 stocks that I am watching every week and keeping my eye on for the week ahead so you guys are prepared. Thank you guys again so much for checking out this video. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week.